Well, I mean, I joked on stage last night that Trump has a lot of experience with water beachfront properties loaded with criminals. So I think it'll be a resounding success. And also,
I
now
mean,
Nancy Pelosi will have a new place to stay in San Francisco. Hello and welcome to the Golden Hour. I'm Andrew Zucker.
golden age, golden age.
Okay, the golden shower. I'm so sorry. Yes, go ahead.
It's great to see you, Matt. Thank you for joining me.
Andrew, I'm so excited to be here.
I know you are.
How's
you almost
Sound good?
you sound great.
Great.
You almost weren't able to be here. I heard this weekend there was a little scary situation.
Yeah, no, I was on stage over in DC. I'm doing my stand-up hour, and first night of the show, the manager of this club was like, "By the way, there's someone suspicious and fishy in the audience." And I'm like,
That's always nice to hear.
I don't know why you're telling me that before I'm about to go on stage. And then basically a couple minutes into the show, this guy in a MAGA hat and a sparkly jacket started to walk toward the stage, kind of got 3 feet away, front row, and just started like flipping me off and causing just unnecessary commotion. And then we were having a bit of a back and forth, and it escalated to the point where he had to get eventually removed. He was like popping pills in the middle of the show.
That's normal.
But he was removed, and we found out that guy's name was Pete Hegseth. So as I joked on stage the night after. But yeah, it was crazy.
Have you had security incidents like that before?
I mean, no. But I mean, I think as shows get bigger and as the headliner gets more known, I think it's probably an inevitable element of showbiz.
So take me back to Chicago where you were born. How did you develop this sense for comedy? Was it innate?
I was 4 years old and I watched the movie Austin Powers, and that's what got me obsessed with comedy. I grew up watching clips of old talk shows, Johnny Carson, Don Rickles, Sinatra. I love that era of show business. And I would just consume all of this on YouTube. And this is the most serious I've ever been. And I would just watch just great, Ed Sullivan episodes and Sid Caesar. And, I don't know.
Where does this love of old Hollywood come from? I love it too, but
it just, I don't know. I think it was a result, again, of YouTube at my fingertips and having that access as a kid. And I just started to discover this whole world. My dad's roommate in college was Hank Azaria. So that was a very big inspiration for me growing up. But I think I remember I would just watch the Beatles on Ed Sullivan, and I was drawn to that era for whatever reason. And my dad introduced me to Frank Sinatra, and then I loved it for whatever reason.
And what's the secret to a great impression? Is there a specific sound that you look for, a rhythm?
I think it just for me, I try to go for vocal, physical accuracy, and then also the words actually matter as well. Because it's one thing to do an impression of somebody, but you also have to have, if you want to be a comedian, which in my case, that's what I am now, you actually have to have material and substance behind it, or else it's just you're like a parrot, just a parrot. Yeah.
And so when did the Trump impression begin? Was that around 2015?
That's a big one. Look at Andrew Zucker. Look at Zucker. I'll tell you what, I did your show, but I wouldn't do your dad's show because
yeah.
Dad treated me very badly. I don't like him too much. If the viewers don't know the Zucker name, it is trash. But it's great to be here with Andrew, who's not quite as much of a failure. We'll see how the ratings are. Apparently the ratings for the golden age are not so golden, actually. Many people are saying that, right? But we're going to look at that. We're going to take a look at that place.
I feel right at home.
Is that Harvey's plant? We know that story, right?
But anyways, the Trump impression started a few years ago. I mean, I was aware of who he was, obviously, like we all were. And then I was a senior in high school when he came down that escalator and announced his initial run for the presidency. So it's been a long time this has been happening. And the political stuff didn't really take off on my TikTok and social media until a couple years ago. I mean, basically, I built this following. I graduated in college. I was class of 2020 at NYU. And then you were at DeVry. I was at NYU.
Yeah.
And then Andrew was University of Phoenix. And then I started to build this following over the pandemic where different shows started to have me on and feature my stuff. Jimmy Kimmel, The Today Show, all as a result of me posting content from my phone. And then Yeah, I mean, it's been wild. And the Trump stuff, the political stuff, it's gotten a lot of attention. I performed at the White House Correspondents' Dinner last year.
What was that like?
I mean, it's been an insane
But that room,
few years. Yeah, it
big
was
room.
wild. It was insane. I mean, they've never had another comedian before aside from the headliner. So last year it was Colin Jost from failed Saturday Night Live, and they had me, and I went up in the middle. I get up in the middle of the room. Biden is 30 feet away from me, half alive, and he's staring at me, and Kamala's on the other side of the dais, and I just get up in the middle of this whole room and I say, "Hello, Sleepy Joe. It's great to see you. I'm going to kill this dinner harder than Kristi Noem killed the puppies." Then I launched into Bernie Sanders and Obama, and the closer was Mitch McConnell, where I took out my glasses and I just went like this, and I froze. And then it cut to Scarlett Johansson, who was looking incredibly pleased, and she was laughing. So I got lucky with that cutaway. But it was surreal. All these opportunities are so crazy, but that one in particular was unbelievable.
How did this year's dinner compare to last year?
Well,
obviously no comedian.
I've been saying this on stage. I mean, I think it was a huge mistake not to have a comedian at this dinner. I mean, the argument was that it's a particularly serious time and we should focus on journalism. I agree that we should focus on journalism, but don't tell me that this year is more serious than any other year. I mean, there's a lot of terrible things that happen every year. Last year, there were bad things. The year before, there were bad things. And that's just one point aside. The second we stop laughing and having a comedian who I think comedy can speak truth to power in many cases, especially at that dinner. You look at Stephen Colbert with George Bush as a particular moment that I liked. But I think it was just very, frankly, stupid not to have a comedian. And that's why at my shows this past weekend in D.C., I wrote about 40 jokes that I felt should have been delivered at this year's dinner.
Do you have a favorite of those?
I liked... well, it's a big room here, so if you're looking for directions, if you'd like to get at the News Nation table, just start at the CNN table and then get fired. I also like this one. Elon Musk wore 2 hats at Donald Trump's recent cabinet meeting, thus proving that RFK Jr.'s plan to eradicate autism has not worked. I'm so sorry if you're offended, but Cheryl.
When did the RFK?
The partisan humor. I mean, I said after 4 years of Biden, this dinner is finally back to serving solid food.
That's a good one.
So don't tell me that it's partisan.
And how do you think about people labeling you as anti-Trump, pro-Trump? I mean, how do you think about?
I don't think about that too much. I just try to be funny and I try to elicit genuine laughter out of people. If you're going to try to program every line that you say because you're trying to please or come off in a certain direction, I think it's easy to tell. So I'm just authentic to who I am and what I believe. And there is a line that I'm towing in this world of such partisanship, particularly in the comedy space. It's no longer the Johnny Carson era where the whole country, regardless of which party you're in, comes together and laughs at this one show. But I've been making it a point to go on MSNBC and Fox News and not lose who I think I am whenever I'm given one of those opportunities.
Totally. Is it tricky doing satire during the Trump administration versus the?
And also,
no.
I wouldn't know what the difference. Well, actually,
no, you were big during the Biden years.
I would know the difference. Yeah, I mean, now there's significantly more material. Let's face it, everything is funnier. It's like a clown car, his cabinet meetings, where it's just out of control. I mean, between Hegseth and Vance and Kash Patel and all these people, I mean, the entertainment factor was not there under the Biden administration. As entertaining as it is to watch Antony Blinken play guitar, that's the most entertaining thing that ever happened at the Biden White House. So, I mean, I think it's definitely good for comedy with Trump at the helm. It's definitely undeniably a comedic boost.
And you've met Obama.
That is true. Thank you.
What was that like? You performed in front of him. I mean, was that nerve-wracking?
I got to meet him, which was insane. I mean, I canvassed for him when I was in high school, and then I went to his speech at McCormick Place in Chicago when he beat Romney, and it was insane. I mean, I met Obama, and I literally acted out his greatest hits right in front of him. So I looked at him, I said, "Hello, everybody." He's standing right next to me. "This is Barack Obama, and I am here with," and he looks at me, his eyes open. He goes, "Actually, I'm Barack Obama." And I said, Now, if there is anyone out there who does not believe that this is an impression for not just a red state or a blue state, but these are for an impression for these United States. Thank you. That's what I do. Then I took a little jump shot after he made the shot. And then I said, amazing grace, how sweet the sound. Like he was like,
He did the highlight reel.
he was dying. And then,
What was it like?
then I did my Trump and I said,
Barack, I've always wanted to debate you. You know, you're a nasty guy. I have a better golf game than you, actually.
then he looked at me and said, well, how about those crowd sizes? Okay. Let's talk about the crowd sizes. And
Did he
then
do the hands? Did he do the
exactly.
hands?
And then I took out the McConnell glasses. And as I was trying to do Mitch, he actually steps back, and I didn't post this. And he goes, you got to put those away. That is giving me PTSD. Which was hilarious.
What was he like off camera?
It was incredible. It was he was so nice. I mean, he's everything that you would hope he is. It was an unbelievable moment. I mean, I was on like cloud nine. It was a crazy experience.
And you do so many different celebrity impressions. I'm curious, when you meet these celebrities that you're impersonating, are they weirded out? Are they freaked out? Are they cool about it? What are those interactions
No,
like?
it's all in the way you approach these people. You can't be like a TMZ stalker, psychopath on the sidewalk. For the way I approach it, it's clearly out of a lot of respect and admiration for the most part. And I think, again, it's the way you read the room. You don't just run up and ambush somebody. Like in my case, I started out actually doing impressions of the person next to them, and that's how my videos initially took off. I would literally run into these people on the sidewalk in New York.
Right.
I ran into Will Arnett. I ran into John Oliver. I ran into Andy Cohen. This was just a product of living in downtown Manhattan. And then all of a sudden, there was this opportunity to do the Golden Globes red carpet comedy interviews. And I met Jeff Goldblum and the cast of Succession and Paul Giamatti and Austin Butler and all these people. And so now I think enough people kind of know what I'm about in that context.
And have you always had this love of both entertainment and politics, or did
Sure.
the politics stuff come later? I mean, growing up, were you interested in politics?
For sure. Yeah. I mean, I had a very, politically engaged family. Like I said, I canvassed for Obama when I was in high school. And so I've definitely always been very interested in, and I've always loved political satire, more specifically, Jon Stewart, Bill Maher, SNL in the old days, right?
Perhaps SNL under the stewardship of another Zucker. Let's see if they keep that in, right? Let's see if they keep that.
So I liked, I mean, I just loved, political satire as a whole and the concept of it.
And outside, sorry?
Even George Carlin,
Yeah. And outside of Obama, the coolest people you've met and done an impression for?
I would say former chairman of the Kennedy Center, David
Okay.
Rubenstein, was really cool. I looked at David. It just happened to meet him randomly. And I said, David, it's great to see you here. No, that was a really fun one.
Yeah.
And you can send that clip to a few people in a private group chat. But I would say, my favorite people that I met, I mean, Obama was incredible. I would say Jeff Goldblum, nothing beats Goldblum. He brought me on stage actually at LPR jazz venue here in New York. That was the first time I met him. And he looked at me.
What was he doing on stage? Was he?
Well, he does a jazz show. And
Okay.
and he looks at me and goes, wait a minute. I know you. Just a second. Mr. Mad Friend is here, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. He does a very funny impersonation of me and Rami Malek and many other people. Come to the stage. Yes. Right this way. And he brings me on stage, and I felt like I was floating in the presence of this Goldblum orgasm that I was having. And I was doing him next to him, and I actually had a throat lozenge in my pocket because he's obsessed with lozenges. So I said, we actually have the same brand of lozenge. Ah, yes. And it was insane. Then we went backstage and we danced together, and it was nuts. I mean, he just brings people so much joy, just his regular personality. I would say Jennifer Coolidge at this year's Golden Globes.
That was cool. Jamie Foxx. That was
Jamie
cool.
Foxx was the biggest one. Yeah, I did a video with Fox on the carpet of the Globes this year, and that over doubled my social media following. He came up to me and was like, just telling me that
He said he loved you.
It was awesome. I love him.
Switching gears, a lot of people are talking about how the Democrats can rebrand. I think you've said that the nominee needs to come from outside of DC. Any other advice for the Democrats?
I just think you got to stop being so goddamn annoying. I mean, let's just be honest. Like, they're just like sitting and singing on the Capitol steps. Like, it just so, I just cringe when I see like I get what Cory Booker's trying to do, but like I'm cringing. It's like you're not going to win an election by singing on the Capitol steps like you're like in Pitch Perfect or something. I mean, like, you're going up against these guys who just say whatever they want and are kind of meaner and more ruthless and lean into the don't care about anything humor. So, I mean, if I say man up, then they're going to cancel me and say, oh, man up. How about woman up? That was Bill Maher. Thank you. But I think just like more of a center approach, I would say, and not being so like PC would be the biggest thing for the Democratic Party.
Right.
That's it. Like, even Obama, you just need charisma. Like, look at 2008 Obama. No one
He was a rock star.
No one has that. Nobody.
Wes
Correct.
Moore?
Yeah, Wes is really great. I interviewed him. He's awesome. We'll see what if he does it and how that translates.
Stephen A? Do we think Stephen A is going to throw his...
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
All these things are ridiculous. Like, seriously. Let's just have a normal person who's been in politics who like knows what they're kind of doing. You know what I mean? Like, Obama was a state senator. Like, can we just have that path, please? I think that's what we should have.
I agree. Though some people have said that the reality TV era ushered in a reality TV president. Maybe the podcast.
But there's no other person like him. I mean, he's an anomaly. Right. He's an exception. Like, I was just watching Anthony Scaramucci and Kevin O'Leary trying to do like some boxing debate, you know, and these are two people who are offsprings of Trump who are trying to be entertaining. But I'm watching it thinking, neither of these guys are nearly as entertaining. So it's like, I'm trying to think of an analogy here. Like, I don't want to watch, you know, a movie. I don't want to watch like I don't want to watch The Wolf of Wall Street without Leonardo DiCaprio in it, and it's just all the side players. You know, I want to watch it because of the Jordan Belfort story. I'm not interested in like the little B stories. Everybody else is a B story. When Trump's out of the picture, like JD Vance has the charisma of like
a couch,
like a substitute teacher. I don't even know. A couch is easy, but he's so boring. I mean, Marco's so boring. All these guys are so boring. The Democratic Party is pretty much universally boring, candidly. And this is just compared to Trump. So like basically everything compared to Trump is boring. And that's kind of part of the problem, I guess, for all these candidates.
That politics now has to be...
Well, I don't know if it has to be. I mean, maybe it does, unless it kind of comes back down a notch as a result of Trump no longer being at the helm. But even like Don Jr. tries, and it doesn't have the same effect. Trump has he has an it factor, whether you like him or not.
Totally. And when you think about him passing the baton, he's mentioned JD, he's mentioned Marco Rubio. Are there others that we're not thinking of? Does MAGA outlive him?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think I'm not quite sure. I think so much of it is tied to like him, you know, like, because so much of that movement now is like these 4-hour speeches and these sound bites that go viral. Like, without him generating these things, I'm not we're going to bring back Alcatraz. I'm going to be the new.
What'd you make of that?
Well, I mean, I joked on stage last night that Trump has a lot of experience with water beachfront properties loaded with criminals. So I think it'll be a resounding success. And also, Nancy Pelosi will have a new place to stay in San Francisco.
Right. Where do you think he comes up with these ideas? I mean, they're kind of predictable to a certain degree, right?
It's honestly unbelievable. I mean, like, even ChatGPT doesn't have, like, I don't know. It's like, now I just have to think about other things from history that have never even occurred to me that he's going to like bring back out of nowhere. Like, he's going to totally start to do that.
These tourist sites that are run by the government are now going to come back.
Yeah, it's absolutely wild.
And so you're heading out on tour over the next few weeks. Where will you be playing?
Yeah, no, I've been on the road. I have an hour of stand-up. So it's political stuff. It's impressions. It's stories of meeting celebrities. It's stuff on dating in my 20s. It's a lot of things. But I'm going to Texas this weekend. I have San Francisco coming up. So tickets at mattfriend.com and on Andrew Zucker's Truth Social. So one of those two you can find it. Andrew's a big truther, by the way, if you don't know. So yeah.
Thanks, Matt. And the audiences for these shows, are they young, old?
It's a mix. It's a mix. I mean, I'm happy to report it's a mix. Sometimes it's people who are Milton Berle fans who are older. And a lot of the times it's younger people because they find me on TikTok and Instagram and Snap and platforms on social. And I wouldn't have it any other way because I have political stuff, I have topical stuff, I have other things. So it's really a show for kind of a wide variety of people, which is exactly what I want.
And just wrapping it up here.
What do you mean? I thought we had 4 more hours.
Yeah, well,
This isn't like a Rogan interview. What's going on here?
No, I'm not going to wear you down.
Oh, come on.
Get the good stuff until 3 hours in.
Thank you. Yeah, Andy Cohen here. You can wear me down all you want. I mean, you're cute. Andrew's cute. Yes, he's a cutie.
What does Andy think of your impression?
I met Andy on the sidewalk downtown Manhattan, which is how 95% of gay hookup stories begin, right? And I looked at Andy, he looked at me, and time froze like Mitch McConnell in a press conference. And Andy says to me, "Wait a minute, you're like the guy who does me, right?" And I thought, that's definitely not the first time Andy Cohen has said that to a guy on the sidewalk. And then I flipped out my phone, not my genitals. I flipped out my phone and I said, we should make a little video. So I'm like, what do you think of this impression? And he goes, I like it because you're young, you're funny, and you're cute. Yes. So he's great.
You knew him, right? Didn't your dad?
Yeah, a little. Not really. My dad. They actually went to the same overnight camp, but I didn't really know him. Hey, Andrew, let me ask you a question because you're a great interviewer. You're doing a great job here. What do you see as the future of Trumpless MAGA? Do you think that it outlives him?
I think that it's going to be tough for MAGA to outlive him. I think that you're exactly right that so much of the MAGA movement is just the attention that he takes up in the media ecosphere. Yeah. And he's the king of generating attention. And I think without him, people are not going to care about a President Marco Rubio, a President J.D. Vance. I do think, though, that some of these ideas like Maha coming under the MAGA tent, I could see that unless Democrats want to make more of an effort to bring over RFK to their party. I could see some of the constituencies that he's created maintaining over the years, but I'm not sure the full throttle MAGA movement outlives the Trump presidency. It'll be interesting to see if his kids run for office. That's what I'm most interested in. Yeah,
there's no way to tell but time. And on the point of his kids, I mean, again, like these are not people that have the level of charisma or, again, that ability to communicate like he does.
Laura Trump almost was appointed senator.
Just give her a microphone and a guitar, and that's enough for Laura.
She sings, yes.
Yeah. Laura and Antony Blinken should go out on tour together. Heal the world. Bring the country together.
And Lee Greenwood, too.
And Lee Greenwood and Kid Rock opens. Actually, Kid Rock doesn't open. Lauren Boebert opens for Kid Rock, but that's a different conversation.
On that note, Matt Friend, thank you for coming on The Golden Age.
Well,
we do quick interviews, Matt.
Andrew, I always wanted to come on The Golden Age, like JD comes on the couch. And okay, Andrew, are you keeping that in?
We're going to keep it in.
We're doing it live. We're doing it live.
And let me just say before I go, this is Ted Cruz. I've really enjoyed being on The Golden Age. It's been a lot of fun. Even Bernie agrees. Let me just say right now, The Golden Age is a podcast, but it is not the golden age of America because the president is too focused on his billionaire friends, which is why I'm urging you to come see me at the next Coachella, where I announce I am running again at the age of 295. I don't know why Bernie always sounds like he's conducting a tiny Jewish orchestra with his hands all the time.
Good night. On that note, Matt Friend, thank you for coming on.
All right. See you next week on Steve Bannon Show.